What's up, everyone? Mike from What the Fun. This debate section is from our latest episode of Test Your Might, the weekly video game debate show. The full episode is found on any podcast app of choice with Apple and Spotify links down below. Thanks for watching. Enjoy. We are looking at our next debate, which again surrounds a bunch of our key three stuff. So what indie game announced this past weekend has the highest chance of high praise? So I'm talking like, what do you think is going to critically be the best out of what indie games we've seen announced or even reinforced? Maybe the game was already out and they just showed a little bit more of it. So Justin, we're going to go losers out here. So would you like to go first or second?
I'll give Brian the honor of going first.
Brian, opening argument, please.
Yes, I'm going to start out with what, in my opinion, is one of the two best showcases from Q3, Day of the Devs, which had a ton of good indie stuff noted in it. Specifically, one that I found fascinating, and a lot of other people seem to as well, is Viewfinder. If you didn't watch Day of the Dev, it is a puzzle game in which you take photos and place the photos into the environment, and they then become the environments. It is a 3D platformer, one of those as well, which is, I have no clue how a dev ever actually programmed this, but they sure seem to have, because it's a real impressive feat. In terms of like the kind of like puzzle explorer thing, it's felt pretty still for a while. And this is, I think, the first game in a while that seems to be doing something kind of interesting and new in that genre, which, especially with indie games, like, are you interesting? Are you doing something new? Are kind of two of the most important questions. And this one seems to be doing exactly that.
Justin, opening argument.
All right. So I picked an interesting one here that might not be a big hit at the beginning, but I think it's a sleeper hit. And I think it's really going to rock people's lives when they start playing it. It's this small game I heard about from the Gentle Bros. And they're doing things like Flintlock, if you've heard of that. It's a big hit that came out or is coming out. The Gentle Bros here came out with an announcement here for a 2.5D open world game called Cat Quest: Pirates of the Caribbean. And this game visually grabbed me instantly. Not just because it's about cats, but it's that 2D style, 2.5D style that we got with big hits, Octopath Traveler, and a few others that have recently come out. But this is Pirate Cats with a lot of puns included, coming out 2020 for in the future here. And this game looks great. You're playing with teammates. You're trying to stop a catastrophe from happening, and visually, it just looks, it's hand drawn. It looks so good. It looks really good. Now, Viewfinder is also very good in my opinion. I did remember seeing this game, and it looks like this would be a great VR game, in my opinion. But I think that the puzzle aspect of it, instead of the friendly kittens, is going to kind of pull it back a little bit on the praise, because less people are going to get their hands on it. Now, first-person puzzle games do occasionally have a hit, like Portal and Portal 2. But, jumping around, platforming is a much larger audience. And I'm feeling Cat Quest, the Caribbeans, are going to hit that thread that everyone seems to like, especially with the map design and the art, different directions that it has. It looks so good. If you haven't seen it, I recommend looking it up. Sailing around on a boat as a cat, having battles, and trying to save your booty. It's going to be good.
Yeah, the one thing that's weird to me about that a bit is this is apparently the third Cat Quest game, which I frankly not heard of the previous two. So I'm not sure. I'm just curious why you expect that, like, the first two, like, did all right. Like, I just looked up their statistics, but, like, they weren't blockbusters. Like, do you think I don't know, Pirates of the Caribbeanizing him is going to be that big of a change to radically make it more popular.
I think it's the being more available to people in different platforms. I think the fact that it's coming to consoles is going to be a big change because a lot of younger children don't use PCs. And those two first games came out PC. So
no, that's not true. They came out on Xbox and PS4 and Switch.
You sure?
Yeah, I'm looking right now. Cat Quest 2. I can look at Cat Quest 1 as well. But yeah, Switch, PS4, GOG. So they are more or less coming out on the exact same consoles.
Interesting.
I can do Google too. The other thing too, I would say is, like, you're talking about platforming, and this doesn't look like a platformer to me. It looks almost more of a 3D side scroller feel. So in some ways, it seems closer to kind of like, well, frankly, a whole bunch of indie games that all have this aesthetic. Like, there's a whole Wholesome Showcase. I'm not sure if y'all watch it at all, but like, this aesthetic was legitimately 90% of the things in the Wholesome Showcase, including at least 4 games about cat cafes. So like the cute aesthetic is great, right? It's very popular. Millennials love it. I am a millennial. But like, the market's kind of flooded with this right now. Like, this general cutesy aesthetic is probably, again, 90% of the Wholesome Showcase and more than 50% of indie games. Like, if you just go to itch.io, you see horror in this. And that is most of what you're going to see. You're not going to see anything that's involving, like, using perspectivality, it's like perspective itself, to, like, do puzzle work. And on top of that, to be, again, a little practical about it, like, the dev crew behind the game was pretty clear about, like, wanting to include a lot of different, like, backgrounds from the people on the team, which is pretty diverse. And in the indie scene, diversity is a major plus, and I don't see that same kind of commitment or push from what I'm seeing on
you know, the Cat Quest games are made by the Gentle Bros, right? So let's be nice here. Viewfinder, on the other hand, Sad Owl Studios. Like, who wants a sad owl? Come on. Like, owls are meant to be wise and beautiful creatures that fly around, not sad all the time. But Gentle Bros, you know, friendship is key here. And friendship for the win, number 1, all the way.
Okay, well, first I will say, you clearly don't listen to indie music because it is all as sad as it gets. That is all indie music is sad times. And that is half of the indie vibes in general, because independent is always poor, and when you're always poor, you're always sad. I say as someone who's often been both. And like, I don't know, I feel like the fact that your comeback is like, let's look at the company name instead of the specifics of the game itself is kind of a weak argument.
I think that's Justin's way of throwing in the towel and moving on to the next one, if I'm being honest.
So, also, Viewfinder has a release date. We know when it's going to be released. So it possibly, if all things happen like it has been happening, Viewfinder could get delayed. As opposed from Cat Quest, which only has 2024, you don't have that restricted bookmark that you have to, hit. You've got that whole year to work with. So Cat might not get delayed, but Viewfinder has more probability of doing so.
You really want me to respond to that? Are you good, Mike?
It's a great argument. It's a great argument. Great argument.
You want me to respond to this nonsense, Mike? I just need to ask.
I rest my case, Your Honor.
They're both likely to get delayed their indie games. They'll either get delayed or released 2 weeks early. That's how that industry works. Like,
all right, Justin, I'm going to expect some more curiosity from the next one here.
That was a catastrophe.
Oh,
see, you need to throw more puns to get me off guard. That's the thing. You needed to, like, mess me up with puns.
I think all of my comebacks were perfect.
So you're doing it now.
Oh man. Okay. Brian takes that second one as well. We're